Hey everybody, welcome back to Basic Level Gaming. Today we're going to play another game of chess and then look at the analyzation of it afterwards. And today's game actually goes well. It could have been amazing, but it was good. Turned out in our favor, and we will talk about it a little bit more at the end. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on those notifications so you see each of our updates. I'm really working on getting back into going over like material instead of just the games. I feel like the games have helped, but I'd like to take it a little bit further than that too. So I'm going to talk to you at the end about what I'd like to have back from you. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so we're going to start off today the same way we usually do, and we're going to start off with playing a random game here. All right, looks like we're going to play black. And this person's rated quite a bit higher than me, honestly. So we'll see how it goes. And he's playing... God, I don't remember the defensive splits on these. I don't remember. I'm going to play blind here because I don't remember the best ways to go. That wasn't it because it opens my king. I didn't even remember that. Not feeling particularly comfortable with this defense, but and he pinned his knight for me, so I appreciate that. Now he thinks he's unpinning it. get one of my rooks, but that's okay. Yeah, I'll do it. That's fine. Thank you. To me, that's disappointing. As soon as I clearly had the lead, he quit. But I don't think that's uncommon. So, and I'm really not sure how he did in this game because I really didn't know where to start with. It was just kind of a weird opening for me. I know it's a normal opening. I've just never played against it. So I was just really thrown off. So I'm interested to see this analysis. So let's go ahead and jump right into that. So, like I said, he starts with the D4 opening, which, like I said, I've seen plenty of times, but for some reason, I was just not expecting it at all. So, it says I did a normal book move to respond, so I'm good with that. That's not what I expected to see. So far, everything's been pretty textbook. And I figured this was a mistake, and it definitely says inaccuracy. So, ultimately, he should have come out and started attacking my pawn with his knight, especially because my pawn was basically unprotected. So, instead, he does that. So, it's saying this was a good move, excellent move, but it would have been better to lead the pawn this way, which I totally can agree with now. It just, if he takes it here, I'm still kind of in a protected area here, protecting my king and queen. Whereas if he takes it here, I'm opening my queen. It just is a rougher spot. So I definitely can see it. So he now moves the knight like he's supposed to. And it's saying that was a mistake. I get it. I don't feel like it was a huge mistake. I mean, and it's not marked as a big mistake. It's just a little one. But if I had gone here, it would have attacked the pawn, so I would have had something backing it up when his knight comes in. So I do see that. So this is saying he should have attacked with the queen because it gives him more control down here. And his knight would still be protecting it, so swap would still exist. So I can definitely see that. Awesome. It said that was the best move. Because I didn't want to take the knight and then his queen be able to take my queen with nothing in it, protecting it. So that was my thought here with the bishop or with the pawn. So this is saying he should have retreated with the knight. But it says this is an excellent move, putting me in check, which I did see that, expected. I saw it coming. So it says this is good. Bringing the knight up there would have been better. I'm trying to see why, because I couldn't take him at that point. I mean, if he took my knight, I could still take his pawn or his bishop with my pawn, but I don't know. I feel like those are about equal at best. So, but I mean, the programmers of this know more than I do, I'm sure. So this is a huge mistake, and I definitely agree here that he took that with the bishop. I mean, he's giving me the bishop for no reason. So Good. I was hoping this was the way to go with the queen because I wanted to keep the castle alive with the king. Because if I had taken it with the king, not only would have discovered check been available, but then my king can't castle. So I'm glad it was saying that was the best move. So it says this is good. The reason for going back here instead is it attacks this pawn and protects the queen. So definitely would have been better to move it over here. But so this is saying I should have went ahead and swapped the queen, which, I mean, really I should have because I ended up doing it anyway. So I definitely can see that one. So he made the best move to defend, which I definitely saw that. And see, now I do swap the queen. So it turns out the same. Because I know he's not going to take my bishop, because if he does, then my queen gets away. So, anyway, so he does that, which is his only real option. It's saying I should have went down here, because I could attack the knight. I see that. My thought process was to get on this diagonal, but it definitely would have made sense to just drop down there. And this is a mistake, well, an inaccuracy, so a little bit bigger than a mistake. It doesn't really accomplish much because I'm just going to move my bishop back down anyway. Whereas if he moves the knight out here, he's activating that piece. He can start working into the center with both knights. So, good. It said that was the best diagonal to put it on because I wasn't sure after it told me to attack the knight a minute ago. I wasn't sure if it was going to expect me to put the bishop down here. So, I'm glad it didn't. And then he doesn't, he brings this bishop out here, and even when he did it, I didn't really see why. Putting this knight over on the side could definitely be beneficial in a little bit when he gets his rook out, because then my king's right here. He could have come down and put me in big trouble. So I see the purpose for the knight. I did not see the purpose at all for the bishop. It's saying I should have went ahead and took the bishop. I felt like this would keep my pawns down here on my side in the places I needed them. But I see either way. So I also felt like it encouraged him to take my bishop and still activated my knight because he's going to think, oh, I don't want to trade bishops, was my thought process. So I do the right thing there. And then he's still attacking my knight. This pawn, he really likes this pawn for some reason. He's moved it twice now. Both were inaccuracies. So I guess he just feels like he can attack with it. And of course, I'm not going to let him have it. So it says that was the best spot to go. So that was good. I wasn't really sure where it would have expected me to hit. Now he finally moves that knight where he wanted it to. So it says that's an inaccuracy. I will say it would be nice sometimes if it said why it's an inaccuracy. But I do see it. So I see where it doesn't really accomplish much because he's just going to put something in the way. So I can definitely understand. It's saying just getting the king out of that line altogether. Plus, by doing that, you're also connecting your rooks on the back rank. So I could definitely see that being better than the knight. So it says this was excellent. It says this, putting this knight up here would have been best, which I do in a minute anyway, I'm pretty sure, but so it's still saying he should have gotten out of that back line. The reason he's moving there, and I mentioned this when we were playing, is to unpin this knight, because right where it was, he couldn't move the knight because I would have him in check. So it's saying this was best. I could have also just moved the king off the back rank. So either way, it's alternative. Both were really good. So it says this was excellent. I could have just brought the rook over and gotten it more involved over here. So Obviously, he's going to take my pawn there. He's not going to let me get all the way back to the back row, of course. It says that was a good move. And that's what it told me to do earlier, so we're on the track where it wanted it to be. Again, it's trying to get him to take the king out of that back rank and connect those rooks, so which he never does do. Well, he does, but not for that purpose. And it's saying this is good. I do understand. I saw it after I moved. By moving this pawn up, it stops him from getting the rook down here to block in my king. So I definitely saw that. As soon as I did this, I was like, wait, I need to move that. I never do because I just end up on the offensive here, but... So he takes that, or he moves down there. And so here I'm really faced with a choice, and I'm interested to see what it thinks of my move. He's going to take one of my rooks either way. So there's not a purpose in moving a rook. Now, I could have moved the pawn and taken his knight. I feel like that's what it's going to tell me the best move was. So we'll see what happens here. Yeah. I figured it was. Because I still would have gotten a knight, and I would have saved my rook. My thought process here was, I'm going to get both his knights this way. I lose a rook, but I get two knights. And it says it's a good move. It doesn't say it's a mistake or anything like that. It just would have been better to just go ahead and take the knight. So he takes the right rook. So I take his, of course. And this is where I just really wasn't sure if I should take it or save it. I feel like taking it was the best choice. So let's see. Oh, it does say best. Okay, so it was best. I could have also just moved it over to save it. So he, of course, takes my rook. So at this point in the game, I've got two knights and, of course, some pawns, which I do have. 3, 4, 5, 3. I have one extra pawn than he does, but I am doubled up in two spots, so that's not good. But I do have two knights, and he has one rook. So I'm ahead in material, for sure. So I put him in check. Now, why does it say... Why would d5 be better? I don't see why... This would be better. It doesn't put him in check anywhere. It does attack this pawn. I don't know. Of course, he comes down to try... Now he finally gets off the back rank. He's trying to basically force me to give up my knight here. Now, why did it... Man, I am not following what it's wanting me to do here with this knight. I don't see anything that is accomplished by moving that knight down there. I don't see it. I've tried to look at, like, you can see ahead a little bit here, but I don't want to click on any of them because it messes this all up. But it looks like there is some purpose to it. I'm not seeing it. Oh, I skipped one. Skipped him moving, or me moving here. So I moved my knight back. Oh no, that's what he did. Never mind. So he steps forward. It's saying he should have moved sideways, which I definitely agree with that, because where he puts it, he's getting closer to allowing me to use both of my knights, which was my goal. So, that's the best move, so I'm happy with that. And this was a huge mistake. It doesn't mark it as a huge... Well, actually, it's a pretty big subtraction. I was hoping he would make this move because by moving here, he allowed me to fork his rook and his king. And once I had that, it was game over. And I understand why he quit. I just wish we would finish the game. But I think most people would have quit at that point because there's just no hope. Once I have his rook, I mean, all he has is 4 little pawns to work with, and very open, not protect or not able to get past or anything like that really. So it was definitely a good game. I felt like for the most part we did okay. Had a couple of moves that it felt were bad moves. But neither side really had any huge like blunders or anything like that. So it was nice to see the game function, more as a whole unit. Everybody playing well. So I think we're actually going to go ahead and make today a shorter video and cut it off here. And if you're watching, I really would like to see some comments from you guys to see if there's any topics you would like to hear about. Because analyzing the games is great and we have a lot to learn from it. But there's still stuff we need to go through individually. So I'm just curious where you guys are at and what you would like to see. So please leave a comment down below. But we will talk to you later. All right, so there you have it. We got through our game and it went relatively quickly and well. We had a couple mistakes. They had a couple mistakes. Really the end move that gave it to me with the king moving down, that was the biggest mistake in the whole game. It just really ended the game, which he knew. That's why he quit, or she or whoever. But it's just one of those things that you just have to really watch for those forks because they can turn the game around so quick. I mean, because I was ahead, but he certainly had a lot to work with having the rook there. So, and he still had a decent amount of pawns as well. So, anyway, hopefully you enjoyed the game. And like I said, please leave some comments. Give me some ideas of things you want to learn, things that you're questioning, things that are, I run into this and I don't know how to do it. Because hopefully by now you're actually getting out there and playing some games. We've talked about all of the basic things you need. Jump in and get started. That's the only way you're going to get better is to play. So, but if you have any ideas, anything you'd like to know, let me know in the comments down below. I promise I'll read every one of them and respond. So, otherwise, we will see you back next week. Again, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications. That way you know when I do get these uploaded. But we will see you then. Thank you and have a great day.